Hi.
You're on your own, Phil.
All right, fair enough. Good evening. Welcome. Well, have I gone all out of focus? All doody-doo. We're all out of sync here. Good evening. Welcome along to another edition of the Sunday Bunch live. Just very quickly before I introduce the panel, massive apologies if you tuned in last week to see us. We did have technical difficulties. As you can see, I'm not in the studio because the studio doesn't exist anymore at the moment. So we're here and we had some technical difficulties, microphone problems and stuff. And so we couldn't go do the show last week. So apologies for that. But here we are now, and joining me, young Jack is with us. How's your day been, young Jack?
Yeah, it's not been bad. Just been out and about. It just feels different. I got you in the Conservative, I think that is. You got Bowers back on StreamYard with us and Dino in his new house. It's putting us off all these unfamiliar surroundings.
It is all strange. And yes, we have got Dino in his new house there. You can see was his birthday yesterday. You see his birthday banner. Happy 50th birthday down there. How did your birthday go, Dino?
Quiet, mate. Just a very quiet one. I finished work on the Saturday morning, and when I came home, my mum had decorated the whole house. She decorated the sit room. My bedroom had balloons all over the bed and everything. So that was a bit of a nice touch. Just had a quiet night. Went up to Junkyard Golf, played some golf, had some Chinese because I love me food, as everyone knows, and then went home. Basically simple 30th, really.
Fair enough. That's all right then. And we've been joined by Michael Bowers. Now, we all worry about Bowers' internet, but we think...
What he uses it for.
We think we may have it sussed. He has been telling us off air why he's got his laptop, but we're not allowed to broadcast that. Well, Michael, how's your day been, Michael?
Not too bad. Fingers crossed. We'll see how if this goes messed up or not. But
all right, okay. More importantly, how's your wrist? Right, okay. Here we go.
It's very fine.
Right. I don't know. I keep flashing for some reason. I've got a clue what it is. I'm on a different.
No, but you won't get the birthday girl to flash it for us instead, Philly.
Birthday girl has taken Colin out for a walk.
Right.
Yeah, it's a different.
Are we going to get an appearance from Colin later?
Probably. It's a different camera on to what we had in the studio, but we'll have to try and sort that out. Look, we are live, which means that you can join us via the live chat if you wish to do so. Have your say. We'll try our best to include you. First up there, Shelley Cumbridge. I bet you do. MK Dons apparently says so. I'm assuming you're an MK Dons fan. Hello to you. Las Palmas Macam is there. David Walker. It's Shad XW. Robert Foster, Ian Wilkinson, Mick Griffiths is on there. John T. Jeff. Loads and loads of people already on there. We'll do our best to try and mention as many of you as we can. And another shout out for Emma, who was with us down at Morecambe yesterday. Evening, lads. How you all doing? I want to say a big happy 30th birthday to Dino, and also a happy birthday to Karen. Yes, happy birthday to Karen. It is my wife's birthday today. She's a little bit older than Dino. So, Morecambe 0, Sunderland 1. Overall thoughts, Michael. What did you think?
You're going with. Let's go with me first, in case my internet messes up later. It was after the first. Well, to be honest, actually, I was going to say after the first 15 minutes, it was pretty boring. In truth, but I mean, it was a good. Well, first of all, the pass from Evans and finished by Broadhead was good. Later on in the game, I don't know what you lads think, but for me, the second half especially struck me as Morecambe knew they were safe. We knew we were in the playoffs because Plymouth were losing 3-0, and it was a case of get through the rest of the game with nobody getting injured or suspended or anything like that. And the fact that we took Ross Stewart off, I think, kind of further backs that argument up. Which I didn't particularly mind, because even if we didn't win the game, we were going to get in the playoffs. As much as I wanted, obviously, to go into the playoffs on the back of a win. Controlled enough of the game. Morecambe tried to have a bit of a goal later on, but just didn't quite have enough. But at the end of the day, they didn't really have to worry about anything. So I guess you could say, do a Terry here. Congratulations to Morecambe for staying up. Apparently, that's this is the highest point in their history, something like that. I might be wrong on that. So fair play to them for that. And then obviously we did say, didn't we, that the task for the last 2 months has been finishing the playoffs. I was quite adamant we would. I thought we'd have enough quality. Now, obviously, the challenge then becomes win them, because otherwise finishing in the playoffs is a waste of time. But overall, game itself was pretty dull. But at the end of the day, I would take another 3 of that between now and in the next few weeks, basically.
Right, okay. Yeah, we had a Morecambe fan on the fan cams. He was telling us that they've never, ever in their history
I saw that, yeah.
been relegated. And I mean, it's a 100-year history or something like that they've got.
Really?
Yeah, never been relegated and never lost at Wembley. Old on you. Just very quickly, loads of people on the chat are wishing Dino a happy birthday. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Apex Chief says Mikey Bowers is number 1. Love from Glasgow.
Thanks very much.
As well. Dino, yesterday, 1-0 win match. What are your thoughts on it?
It was a hard watch, to be fair. I thought it was a really hard watch. I can't really remember testing their keeper a lot. I know Michael just said that second half was basically we knew we were playoffs and them knew we were safe. But a lot of the games like that's been like this season, very dull, very flat. There was just nothing. There was just nothing there. I mean, it was a horrible match to watch. Obviously, the added pressure didn't help, knowing that it could have went the other way. We could have been out the playoffs, but results were going our way. But it's nothing to brag about. We struggled against the Morecambe side. Do you know what I mean? Well, this fell off. I don't know where Phil's gone, but we struggled against the Morecambe side who are fighting relegation. I mean, that just proves it all where we are as a team at the minute, to be fair. It would have been nice to see Aidan McGeady get a little bit time on the pitch. It didn't happen, unfortunately, but hopefully we'll see him in the playoffs. But yeah, overall, I was very disappointed with the match. I thought it was sloppy, was just awful in every aspect. It's just lucky we got the result. You've got it on mute, Phil.
Well done, Phil. You're muted.
Mute. You thick, you like.
I said, thanks for that. I agree with everything you said. It's just apparently Pam was out walking Colin, and I locked the door so she couldn't get back in. Oops, so I just got wrong. Just very quickly on the chat as well then. Tony Lee says, all right, Monkey and the amazing 3Vs.
We're back.
And, yeah, they're back. And we did see Tony at the match when we was at Rotherham. And this is Tony Lee sat with Karen there, keeping him amused. I see he's got his arm around our lass as well, so I'll be having words with him about that as well. Dodsy, young Dodds, was you down there yesterday? All the proper fans went down yesterday. Was you down there?
No, as we've discussed a lot, Philly, I couldn't quite get a ticket. I was one lucky point off. Although when I went to get my ticket for the playoffs, I checked. I have actually got 60 now, but unfortunately, I did miss out.
Get yourself to the second leg at Hillsborough, Jack.
There we go. So I'm going to try my best.
Your thoughts on the game yesterday, Jack?
Yeah, kind of what everyone said, really. It was a bit dull, a bit boring, a bit of a non-event. I think after the sort of first 20 minutes, I thought we started off quite well, moved it about decent on the front foot. A really good pass from Evans, thought it was really smart, sort of allowed Broadhead to get on the turn. He was already sort of on the half turn. Took it past his man really well, that little sort of change of pace, change of direction. Brilliant from Broadhead, really just shows his sort of striker's instinct he's got. And a tidy finish, and I think probably from after the goal, not a lot happened. Morecambe sort of put up a bit of a fight towards the end, I felt like. In a mixture of that, maybe not quite being creative enough, and also I think sort of just defending quite well. It wasn't really meant to be, but both sides got what they wanted in the end, didn't they, really? Thought Corey Evans actually yesterday was outstanding. I've given him a lot of stick sort of the last sort of 10-15 games. But I feel like there was a lot of times Morecambe were getting forward and they were doing it quite quickly. But he was the man to sort of cut out a pass, or he was stood in the right area. He simply judged the game quite well. He read a lot of things that happened in front of him. Acted as a nice sort of brick wall in front of the defence, really. Just pleased that not only we've finished in the playoffs, but that also for the first time in the last 3 times in the playoffs, we've done it in good form.
Right, okay. Tane or Tane, however you want to announce it, says P.E. Blinders, obviously referring to Tony Lee. Tony Lee was a little bit of a naughty boy back in his day. Just very quickly, we've got 167 so far on the stream. You can just hit the thumbs up for us. 49 on there already. And if you're watching and you haven't yet subscribed, it's free to subscribe to our channel. I think we're only 3 subscribers off 8,500. In fact, we've hit it already. So, but we'd be grateful to you if you can just hit the subscribe button. It's free to subscribe, and it does help our channel out as well. Yesterday, 1-0 win. We got the job done. We've made the playoffs, which is what we went to do. As we said, terrible game, and it was awful to watch. And that performance, not that brilliant. Ooh, sorry about this camera. Do the performances matter so long as we're getting these wins? You know, are other teams going to look at us and saying, well, they're not playing that well? Dino?
I mean, it's hard because you can win games and play poorly, but we have done that a lot this season. But I mean, if you look at Sheffield, I mean, they won 4-1, didn't they? MK Dons won 5-0. It doesn't bode well. I feel like we've got the worst form going into the playoffs. Maybe we're just, I don't know what it is. We seem to scrape results, but I think now we're playing some quality teams around who are going to be probably same level as us, who are in good form. I think we will struggle. Yeah, we could do the whole smash and grab thing, but nothing's actually guaranteed in football. You could have the best game in the world as a team and still get beat. But I'd rather we be playing well in the way we are playing. So for me, I am a bit worried about playing Sheffield Wednesday, especially how they won 4-1.
All right, I'll bring you in just now, Jack, because I know you want to be in there. Just very quickly on the chat, Tony Lee says, "My Gillian," which says Kazza's very pretty. Phil, you're punching. Yes, I am punching. I know I am. Stephen Winship says Dino's new nickname, the Grim Reaper. Jeff says this is replying to Tony. 1 bronze, Adonis, and 3. Which is referring to the V's, I would imagine, and stuff like that. And Dino, you did say we weren't going to make the playoffs, but we will come on to that. Jack, you was wondering.
Yeah, just a quick question for Dino, really. Just sort of saying we're in quite bad form. Worried that we're coming up against some sort of typically, on paper, better teams. But do you think that we actually sort of sometimes play better against teams that are higher up the league because they tend to have a go at us a bit more and we can sort of find the space and there's a bit more flow to the game? I think we're struggling against a team lower down the table to just sort of like come sit on the edge of our own box and make it hard for us.
No, because you can look at the Rotherham game. I mean,
yeah, it's an exception to the rule, but I think just in general, I would say so.
It's a funny one, isn't it? Because, like you say, we got beat off Sheffield Wednesday 3-0 down there. Place that came up here, we beat them 3. They beat us 4-1. Was it 4-1 or something when we played them down Sheffield, and then them came up here and we beat them 3-0?
They beat us 3-0 down there, and then we beat them 5-0 up here.
Yeah.
Well, see, so it's mad, isn't it? But Sheffield Wednesday, I mean, them have been fighting to get in the playoffs for the last couple of games, haven't they? And they've actually finished. Have they finished above with Sheffield? Did they finish above with?
Yeah.
By 1 point, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, people can say Dino 13 games unbeaten and all that, but have we looked really good in any of these games? I mean, there's a handful. I mean, I'm not confident. I just feel like Sheffield Wednesday, with their last result, them will be on a really big confidence boost. And then the beat we before, and the way we're playing, yeah, we can scrape the results, but I'd be shocked if we did end up beating them like 3-0 or anything like that. If we're going to win, it'll be a 1-0. But if Sheffield Wednesday beat us, it'll be like a 3-0 or something like that. That's the way I'm feeling at the minute.
Right. So, I mean, you did say we weren't going to make the playoffs. I mean, would you just
Phil? It was dead close. You're going on like, we've done it easy. It came down to the last game of the season. It came down to the last game of the season.
We were smoking cigars, man, on that pitch. We're like, Anyway, Michael, these performances, so long as we're getting the win, is that all what counts?
In my opinion, at this stage of the season, yes. I think if you want to compare anyone who won the playoffs, look at the 2 games we played against Blackpool last season. They went on to win the playoffs, and I didn't think they particularly outplayed us on either occasion, to be honest. I thought the games were quite close. The game down there was settled by a Lee Burge mistake. The game up here was settled by a wonder goal that 9 times out of 10, Sully Kai, I think it was, doesn't score that. So it just comes in roundabouts. I mean, if you look at it compared to the last 2 times we've been in the playoffs, like in, what was it, in 2019, we won 1 of the last 7. Last season, we won 1 of the last 9. This time, we've won 8 of the last 13, and we've remained unbeaten in 13. If you can't get confidence from that for the playoffs, then I don't know what would give you confidence. But we've got to remember, yes, we're not playing free-flowing football, but at the end of the day, you've got to look at the games look at playoff games. How often is a first leg decided by 3 or 4 goals? How often is a first leg, like last year? I can only think of one example where last year Blackpool beat Oxford 3-0 away at Oxford. That's like an exception to the rule. Most games in the playoffs, the first leg's usually won by, say, at most a 2-goal margin if a team ends up winning it. You can say the decent sides. I agree with Jack's point. I think that, again, you can't say we haven't got results against better sides. Okay, yes, we should have probably lost to Rotherham, but the fact is we didn't. We won away at Oxford, maybe a bit fortunate, but we still won. We won away at Wigan, completely, I wouldn't say dominated or outplayed them, but I think we hadn't managed that game excellently. So it just depends. I mean, if you look at the other ties, I was looking at the form. Funny enough, this is the bit of the research I was talking about in the group chat before coming on. If you look at the form, which do you want me to come back to that?
Yeah,
do you want me to come back to that later?
No, yeah, come back to that, and we'll do a little.
That's fine. That's fine. You carry on. You take over.
We'll let you get a little. I nearly said something a bit rude. Then when you do,
that's not like you at all, is it?
No, not at all. Just very quickly, Tony Lee says, Bowersy, are you and your F Troop crew going to Sheffield Wednesday away? Obviously bumped into you at the pub and he saw all your mates and what have you. Johnny Cool.
Not quite, Tony. I'll be going to the home leg, but I won't be going to the away leg.
Right, okay. Johnny Cool, Sunderland don't do easy. Johnny Cool, friend of the show, actually bumped into us yesterday. We interviewed him on the fan cams. If you want to go and have a look what Johnny Cool looks like. Sam says, that's the Dino we know and love. Jeff, Dino only happy when he's not happy. The Doominator is back in the building. So all about opinions. That's what it is. Jack, these performances, do they matter?
I think if you'd asked us sort of 2 or 3 months ago, I would have been concerned, making sure that we were playing well. But I feel like you've literally got sort of 2 semi-final legs and hopefully a final as well. When you're unbeaten in 13 games, I think we've won 7 or 8 of them. To be honest, I look more at that with only literally having a couple of games, but 3 at most games left to get promoted. Than I would have had sort of loads of games left. So to be honest, I'm just happy that we're getting the results, and we seem to have a knack now of just keeping things tight at the back. Of course, we've still leaked a few goals in recent weeks, but sort of keeping things as tight as we can at the back. And whilst not sort of as free-flowing going forward as we were at the start of the season, because we keep more clean sheets, we tend to only sort of need 1 or 2 goals to edge it in the game. So, yeah, I am sort of more leaning towards I'm confident because of the results than not confident because of the performances.
Right, okay. Just very quickly then, there's people saying about jumping the gun. Let's look at Sheffield Wednesday first. People going on about Wembley. I mean, I did notice that another channel had said that they were going live down at Wembley and all this, and you think, you are everybody jumping the gun. We are playing Sheffield Wednesday. Do you think that's the hardest game out of what was left? Michael, you're nodding your head there.
Yeah, I think. Don't get me wrong. MK Dons and Wickham are obviously no mugs. They've got them into the playoffs. They're obviously decent sides. But for me, this is the Sheffield, the team that I wouldn't say concerns me the most, but it's the team that causes me. Well, yeah, I suppose causes me the most concern. I can't think of another word. But this is one where we've had 2 very contrasting results against them in the regular season. I think the game down there. I don't think if we were on decent form, I don't think we lose that 3-0 personally. I didn't think Sheffield were all that. It was just a question. I think we just capitulated the minute we went 1-0 down. But you could argue the same. You could argue the same about them up here. I suppose to remember, we did play when we played Sheffield at home. They hadn't played a game for a few weeks, so they might have been a bit rusty in that regard. But we still played really well that night. I think us and Sheffield have got a very similar quality level within both our squads. Where I think, and Thane said on the chat, I know you're probably a bit further behind the chat, Hill, but we said, me and Thane have said this on our show all the time, that what could separate us from Sheffield Wednesday, in my opinion, is the manager we've got. And I think Alex Neil I think Alex Neil is a tactically astute manager. And I like the fact that he sets us up game by game. Having said that, with the 2 legs, I think if you look at the form, home form of both teams, I know Dino's wanting to get in there, but if you want to look at the form of, go on then, what you wanting to say?
I'm baffled how he can just think that we've got a better manager. I mean, Darren Moore hasn't been in the game that long, I don't think. They've technically finished higher than we're in the league. I know managers don't win your games, your players do. Obviously, managers have the say of teams and tactics and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. But just to say we've got a better manager, so we should win the game, that's not how
I didn't exactly say that, but all right.
But you're going along the lines, just say we've got a better manager. No, you can't really say that. They finished higher and we're in the league. I know Alex Neil only got how many games? 15 or something games, which is fair enough. But just to say that Alex Neil's a better manager, I mean, I didn't think so. I think they probably could be level managers.
No, we can agree to disagree on that. I think Alex Neil. Yeah, it is a game of opinions. I think with Alex, I have more confidence. I wouldn't say confidence. I've got more hope with Alex Neil than I would have done with Lee Johnson, and I like Lee Johnson. But I think Alex Neil, has come in and recognised that it's not the foot, and I think people need to realise it again. As I bang on about clean sheets, but I bang on about it. There we go. I might as well point out, Jack. So my other favourite word, application. Get it out of the way straight away. But saying that, but it's right though. You can't just go all out attack and not think about defense. It's no good scoring 3 goals if you're letting 4. You've got to get the balance right. And I think Chef Wed, to be fair, this is the one where I think if they beat us over 2 legs, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think to get past Chef Wed, both teams have had impeccable home form, and I would think that if we're going to get past Chef Wed, then I think we could really do with winning on Friday night. And that's the main reason, just to quickly go on another topic, why I want as many people, don't know why Dino's looking like that, but okay. You want as many people in that stadium as possible. If you can make it, if you can afford to go, try and be there if you can, because I think we need every fan we can get on the Friday.
Right, okay, thanks, Michael. Just very quickly, back to the chat. Marianne and Carl Taylor, our friends over in Boston, Massachusetts, say, and this is what I mean about people jumping the gun. Fancy us to beat Chef Wed and MK Dons in the final.
Hang on, Phil. You're accusing other people of jumping the gun. The same person who only a few weeks ago just assumed we were going to win all sort of our last 4 or 5 games.
No, I said it was possible to win our last 4 or 5 games.
All
so.
Right.
That's and it was possible. That's the argument I was trying to put across, and you were saying it's not going to happen, which you couldn't say. What you should have said.
To be fair, it didn't.
Unlikely to happen. Anyway, just very quickly, because somebody else said obviously about MK Dons, where I've lost it now. About this Twine Gadget is on form. He got 4 goals for them, didn't he? Down at Plymouth. Also in there, where was it? People on about Broadhead. We're going to get onto that. That's Kev Muse or Kev Mems, as Michael likes to call him. Any news on Broadhead? He was at the Everton game today. And we also want to say a big thank you to Marianne and Carl Taylor, our friends over in Boston, Massachusetts. They've donated $5. Can we have a round of applause for them, please? And they also say, hi guys, hopefully the manager's experience will see us through to the final. And a narrow win and a draw away. How are the lads, is what they're saying. Dino, Sheffield Wednesday, the hardest team of the 3 we could have played?
On quality, yes. Most probably. I think the hardest physical team you would play was probably Wickham. It depends, because Wickham are a hard physical team to play, which we aren't a physical team. MK Dons, I mean, them just seem to come out of nowhere. I mean, they weren't in the playoff picture at 20, 30 games, and then all of a sudden the set it third. It baffles us, and I don't even know how good they actually are. I can't remember them how they play or anything like that, what players they've got. So they're a bit of an unknown entity to me. So I'd be a bit. I wouldn't fear Wickham. I feel like we can beat Wickham. I think Wickham are a very beatable team. Chef Wed, we can beat them as proven this season. But it depends on what team turns up for Sun and what team turns up for them. And MK Dons, I'm a bit scared because I don't know nothing about them. I don't even know what players they've got. So it's a bit of a toss up. Like it's actually a toss up. But I am worried for the playoffs, like because I feel like there's no easy games.
That's why you don't have clean sheets.
Bed's made, mate. Bed's made. Bed is made.
For the first time ever, Dino's made his bed.
Right, Michael will tell us this anyway. We beat MK Dons away. Did we? Did they beat us at our place?
We won 2-1 down there. They beat us 2-1 up here.
Right. Okay. So it's all square.
So one win apiece.
All square with that. Then anyway, just trying to get people back in here on the chat. Mad Max says we need Broadhead to win. Jack, Sheffield Wednesday, that the hardest team we could have played, do you think?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I feel like, Rotherham would have been second, but if they finished in the playoffs, I would have wanted to avoid Rotherham because the two times we've played against them have not really been able to sort of get into our floor. MK Dons, I'm not sure. Obviously, it's pretty even on head-to-head this season. Us beating them away once and then beating us away once. Sheffield Wednesday, I'm not really sure. I probably would have wanted to avoid them if possible because as much as we've gone on a good run of form over sort of 15 games, it seems if they've been on a good run of form for like the entirety of the second half of the season. After we beat them 5-0, I don't know where they were roughly at that point, but in order to go on the run of form, in order to finish where they have been, they must have gone on a brilliant run of form since then to get there. Personally, lads, I don't know what you think, but I know a lot of people wouldn't have wanted to face Wickham, but a part of me wouldn't have minded actually because as much as they are a difficult team to face and over two legs, yeah, they will frustrate us and probably have all the dirty tactics that they normally would. But I just feel like over two legs against Wickham, I don't think they'll be able to keep us out. And when we've played them this season, I think we've been the better team. Obviously, we beat them 3-1 earlier in the season, scored 3 goals fairly early on, and then let a daft one in at the end. I think we just stopped concentrating, really. And then we drew against them 3-3, first game in January this year. But I just feel as if from memory that we played really well against them. So I know a lot of people wouldn't have wanted to face Wickham because, maybe since we've been down in League One, we have struggled against them. But personally, I just feel like over two legs, that's the team we would have had the best chance against. As for Sheffield Wednesday, I don't really know a lot about them. I know they got Barry Bannon, and he could be injured for the playoffs because he went off in the last game with a knock. But I don't really know much about them, so I'm just going to leave it there, really.
Right, fair enough. Just very quickly, Ian Curry said, I never knew we Philly had no hair. I never knew. I forgot to put my hat on. Tony Lee, I've been bald since I was 15, apparently. Kev Mills again. We were poor against Morton. Yes, I think we all know that. Just very quickly, 85 likes we've got. So 15 more people just hit that thumbs up. It'll take you a second to do that. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. It's free to subscribe. It does help us out if you do that as well. And it would be gratefully appreciated. Dino.
Someone just said in the comments there, Keno, I will take Wickham in the final. The only thing about playing Wickham in the final, them know what it's like to go to a final and win in the playoffs. We don't. I feel like if we got an MK Dons in the final, I feel like the pressure could get to them. Whereas we've been in that situation once already, where as Wickham have actually won there, so the experience could tell. So I would say MK Dons in the final.
I feel like I would rather play Wickham over two legs because I think over the space of 2 games, the more quality, let's be fair, that we've got would shine through. They might be to sort of keep us at bay for 90 minutes, really, on one occasion, if they'd really thought about it and sort of really applied themselves. But I think over 2 games would be too much. So I would have rather had them in the semi-finals and played someone else the final. But, you've just got to sort of beat whoever's in front of you, really, haven't you?
Right. Okay, just very quickly, Jack. Did you get that bogey out, by the way?
No, it was no bogey. I was just itching, really.
All right. Okay, fair enough. Well, at the risk of sort of jumping the gun, I did say if we got to Wembley, I'm not going there expecting to win at all because I'm sick of the disappointment every time.
Really, I thought you were Mr. Positivity, though. I thought you always expected us to win everything.
Well, let me finish what I'm saying, right? However, the thing is, I think whoever wins between us and Sheffield Wednesday are going to win the final at Wembley. I think the hardest game is the semi-final, is how I see it. And I'm not jumping the gun. I'm saying, if so, but I don't want to be going to Wembley thinking that's that we're going to win. But let's take this game first. Broadhead's injury, I believe, is a hamstring. Am I right on that? Anybody?
I think so.
Which is not. He's not going to be.
He went off carrying it, didn't he?
If it's a hamstring, he's certainly not going to be ready for the semis. He might possibly make the final, hopefully. But Aidan McGeady was on the bench yesterday, so it looks like he's very close to coming back. Is it all too late? I mean, nice to have a fit Aidan McGeady, but no matches played or anything like that. Michael?
Well, if McGeady's going to have any sort of role in the playoffs, then it's going to be basically the last 15, 20 minutes at most. That's, we've got players that have played a lot more in recent games. We've had players that obviously haven't been out as injured as long as McGeady has. I'd certainly have him in around the squad because, again, I think McGeady's someone who tries to drive the standards up, and I think Alex Neil, of course, will be trying to reiterate that within the squad. So for me, that can only be a good thing. But we have to make sure. I would have McGeady in the squad, but I wouldn't. He wouldn't be starting. He'd be nowhere near match fit, unfortunately.
Right. Okay. Yourself, Jack?
Certainly wouldn't have him starting. But I think his presence being involved in the squad's going to be a big thing. And one thing I will say about McGeady as well is sometimes throughout the course of the game, you can go missing in periods. Like him and Embleton are quite similar in that regard, where over 90 minutes, you can almost forget to play at times. But if they get the ball in the right sort of area and you need that one moment of quality, often they tend to pop up with it. I mean, look, we went to Wembley only a few years ago and we played Portsmouth in the cup final. McGeady scored a great free kick and then kept his composure to score that important goal at the end. That took it on. It was a penalties or extra time, one of the two. So yeah, I feel like I wouldn't have him start, and I think there's other lads who are just going to be fitter, sort of, and going to have more of an impact over 90 minutes. But definitely, I would have him in and around the squad. And the game is tight, and there's maybe half an hour left. I would certainly chuck him on because, like I say, he's just got that one moment of quality in him that I feel like sometimes a few of the other lads might not quite have in them.
Right, fair enough. Dino, were you raving last night?
No, just got it at the golf thing. I'm just playing with it because some of the comments are so winding me up today. Like, honestly, I'm really
well, jump in and reply.
No, because I'm just raging. Like, some of the comments are getting to me the day.
Dino, it's all about opinions. You're entitled to your opinion and say exactly how you do. I mean, one thing about you,
but I'm not calling people thick or like deluded or anything. I would disagree with people. I didn't know. Some people are really getting on my nerves in the comments today. Like
the thing is, Dino, the good thing about you is you tell it how it is, and you never waver from what you've said. You say it and you stick to it. I mean, you're always spot on. Apart from you said we'd never make the playoffs.
Oh, God's sake, man! We're straight by the skin of our teeth, man. We got lucky. We got lucky.
Dino.
Yes,
I hope we get to Wembley and we win the final by the skin of our teeth. Because nobody's going to say, "Oh yeah, they got promoted." Oh, but it was only by the skin of the teeth. It doesn't matter.
Well, yes, it is, because we still going about Wickham, who then went up in the cheat. We still going about that.
No, because me and Terry.
You didn't like it, Dino.
We said congratulations to Wickham. Because at the end of the day, they did enough that season to get up. That's how it worked out. So it was you and CONRAD who were crying in your soup.
I know what. I'd love to get Wickham in the final and beat them. That would be fun.
Right, okay. Son and Salatai, McGeady loves a trip to Wembley. Says Johnny Kills says too late for McGeady. John T. McGeady has the class that counts. He does love a trip to Wembley. Tony Leon there, McGeady still our best player, most experienced player. At the end of the day, he's not going to he's not going to play a full game, but he could be that person who came on for the last 20 minutes at Wembley or someone. See, you jump in the gun again, man. you know, but he could come on at Hillsborough, sorry, that last 20 minutes and do it for us. Jack, have I been to you on McGeady?
Yes, you have, and I said almost exactly the same thing.
Michael?
Yes, I said had my piece on McGeady as well.
All right, okay. And so was it you, Dino, or just jumped in about the chat? We've done everybody. I'm losing.
No, you haven't done me. You haven't done me.
Oh, it's all right, Dino. Your opinion's irrelevant anyway.
Yeah, clearly. With McGeady, I mean, he's good to bring on because, like, yeah, he's not match fit, but surely he should be able to do a cameo for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Doing his thing, because we all know he can take somebody on. He can just create that little bit of space. He's got that little bit of quality. Yeah, his match fitness might give a few weird, a couple of like bad passes or a couple of bad shots, but it only takes McGeady one chance to just bend one in the top corner or a free kick or something like that. So he's not a bad person to bring off the bench. I mean, who would you rather bring on off the bench, Lyndon Gooch or Aidan McGeady for the last 20?
Well,
McGeady,
yeah, McGeady.
I feel like because Gooch is match fit and certainly last 3 or 4 games, I feel like he's played well. I think he's in pretty good form. To be honest, he's probably playing the best football he's played all season. I'd probably rather start with Gooch. But if it came a question of 20, 30 minutes left and we're looking for one moment of quality, I would probably rather McGeady because he's just sort of he's got that sort of makes better decisions and he's just got more natural quality, you know, in the final third, hasn't he? Really?
Right. So you got one sub left, 3 subs. Right. So you got 3 substitutes, but you can use one. You get Gooch, McGeady, and I'm trying to think of another player. Jack Clark. Who do you bring on?
What's the scenario?
You got the last 15 minutes. Last 15 minutes. Last 15 minutes.
Last 15 minutes, we need a goal. Aidan McGeady comes on every day for me. But I feel like Gooch and Clark have probably got more chances starting. I don't really rate Clark myself, and I know Gooch has been hit and miss, but I think Neil will probably sort of prefer them because they've been playing all season.
I should have used Giorgio. I should have said Giorgio. Gooch, McGeady. That's what I should have said.
Right, okay. There's a few people on the chat there trying to will we get a bite out of Dino? So there's a few people trying to do that, and there's other people saying, Dino, just turn the chat off. Don't rise to it.
You kind of turn the chat off because we'll do this for the chat. We'll do it. It's just when people call it, like, just call us for, like, just because I say when I don't feel like we'll make it and saying you're clueless, and I just like, well, you probably thought you. Do you know what I mean? Just like
the thing is,
there's a disagreement, and there's just being disrespectful and
fair enough. Listen, it's all about opinions. It is, and everybody's entitled to an opinion. But you do need. Well, here's where Dino won't agree with us, but you do need to respect other people's.
You don't. You honestly don't. You really don't. When you said like with 5 games ago, we're going to win the league, I did not have to respect that because it was never going to happen.
No, but it's
if you've got a case,
Dino, you're missing the point. It's my opinion, so I'm allowed to have that. So you have to respect that. That's my opinion. I don't have to.
Why not? You do.
Dino, you're mixing it up with. You don't agree with it. That's fine. I know you don't agree with it.
Right. I haven't got a football. I haven't got a football one for you, right? So obviously we all know what's happening in Ukraine, right? So I say I'm so against it, and then you said you're for it. I don't have to respect your opinion.
Yeah,
I know it's totally different.
I would say it's a bit extreme comparing what's going on in Ukraine to football.
I didn't compare it, Michael. I'm just thinking of an analogy. I don't know how to put it away football-wise. I'm just trying to think of another example, which is easier.
When we're talking about would you rather have Lyndon Gooch or Jack Clark come off the bench in a football game, I think that's a lot different. What do you think about innocent people being bombed?
To be fair, Dino.
I didn't compare it.
To be fair to Dino, right? I understand. I got the point he was trying to get at. I think if your opinion, unless your opinion is one that supports something that's like harmful to others or something like really extreme along those lines, then for me, I don't see why you don't have to respect people's opinions as long as it doesn't hurt anyone. You know, Phil thought we were going to. Phil tried to convince us all that top two is possible. I didn't think it was, but that's his view, and we've got to respect the fact he's entitled to that view. Exactly the same that I've disagreed with a few things Dino said, but I respect the fact that's his opinion. I don't know why that's hard to understand.
But when you have an opinion, you've got to kind of like back it up in a certain way, don't you? You've got to like have a little bit of evidence, a little bit like, oh, we can go because of this. Then I can see your point. And I respect. If you're just saying we're going to get up because Alex Neil's the manager, I don't have to respect that opinion if that's your argument.
I think if someone holds an opinion that isn't really harmful, such as thinking someone's a good football player, a good manager, I just think so. I mean, people take it a bit too far.
If you think something, you have this. I just think all the time.
That's not all I'm going to say is there's certain Sunderland fans out there that accuse the fans of being the problem and the fault for why Sunderland's not succeeding.
And there you go. I do not respect that
opinion.
And
I just think that's ridiculous.
Right.
And I don't have to respect that opinion because that's stupid.
Right. Listen. Let's move on from this. What the bottom line is. If you've got an opinion in the chat, all right, have your opinion. But if you can try not to be abusive or or disrespectful,
that's fair.
That would be
that should be human nature. That should go without saying.
And that's fair play to that. Salad Dodger 82. Is that you, Jack?
That's me.
Salad Dodger.
I just realised that name.
Phil, did you honestly think that we could catch Rotherham? Let's say when I put opinions over on this show, a lot of it can be done to get a reaction. So we'll leave it at that. I'll quickly tell you, we've only got 10 minutes left. It is a little bit of a shorter show tonight because I'm starting work a bit earlier and Dino has got his bed to make and Jack hasn't had his tea yet. And Michael has done a little bit of research for us today. He's got some stats together. So Stato Man is back in the building. Over to you. I'm sick of
news. I'll tell you later on.
All right, bye-bye, Jack. See ya. I looked at the form from. I tried to be non-biased. So I looked at Sunderland, Chef Wed, MK Dons, Wycombe's form over the last 15 games. I say last 15 games because that's when Alex Neil took charge of Sunderland. So I thought 15 games is a good sort of, I don't know, a good barometer to sort of measure the form. But Sunderland's last 15 games, well, I won't bore you with all the exact results, but Sunderland's last 15 games, we've won 8, drawn 6, lost 1, 30 points. So 13 points off 15 games, 2 points per game. Chef Wed's, actually, to be fair, their last 15 games have won 10, drew 3, lost 2, 33 points. MK Dons, exactly the same, won 10, drew 3, lost 2, 33 points. And Wycombe's last 15, won 8, drawn 5, lost 2, 29 points. So the form going over the last 15 games is actually the form is actually, you're muted, Phil. The form is actually a lot closer than I thought it was. That was the point I was going to make. But there you go.
Sorry, Michael, can I just jump in? Sorry about that. That was work on the phone for me. We're really busy and they want me to go in early. So can I hand it over to you, Jack? And can you see us out on this?
Yes, I mean, if you're going to need us to, of course.
If you don't mind, because so apologies to everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to everybody who turned up at Johnny's in Morecambe. Great show. I'm going to hand you over to. I'll take that overlay off for you.
And Miss Gal.
There you go. And I'm going to hand you over to you three. Thanks a lot. We'll be back Thursday with a show. Jack will be sorting that out. I've got to go. I've got to get to work. I'll see you later.
Go on then. Pop yourself off.
Bye-bye.
Obviously, we have only got
I know the building.
It's horrible. Obviously, we have only got a few minutes left. I know we're going to finish a little bit early tonight, weren't we? But we haven't been through man of the match yet, have we? I was just thinking that myself, so maybe quickly go through that for the Morton game. Dino, I'll start with you. Anyone that stands out?
Broadhead, really. I mean, when Broadhead went off, we had nothing up front. I mean, even Ross Stewart was having a bit of an off game. So I'll give it a Broadhead for the goal. He's just so lively. He's a player you really want to hold on to, don't you? He really is. He's just got that bit of pace and that little bit of quality. So I'm going to give it a Broadhead.
See, I know what you're saying. I feel like the quality he's got is definitely of a championship level, but I mean, how many games could he really commit to for a season? What, maybe 20 or 25 or so? I don't know how many he's played, but I just feel like for someone to be really sort of worth it, they need to be able to commit to at least sort of 35 games a season in League One, really. Otherwise, it's like having half a player. I feel like.
Well, he's a little bit that Scottish forward we had. Remember we had him on loan. I can't remember his name.
Lewis Morgan.
No, he was a striker. He played off a striker.
Was it Mark McNulty?
McNulty, that's it. He reminds us a bit of Mark McNulty. Great player, but injured all the time.
Yeah, and I just feel like, don't get as long every player's going to have injuries and whatever, but I just feel like unless you can commit to at least sort of 35 games a season and 30 to 35 games a season in League One, I don't really know how much you are worth having. I mean, I know Pritchard's had injury concerns, but he has stayed fit for most of the season as soon as he's got up to speed and running. Just quickly going back to the live chat, Ian Barron is on there saying, fight. Jason Ladd says Chef Wed are still favourites. I'm not sure if that's about your favourites or just his opinion, but there we go. Ian Curry says, I believe you, Philippe, we will get top 2. Ben Doherty as well says, remember El Milton has played in...
That's a good point from Ben, man.
Yeah, John T says Gooch again on Matete for man of the match yesterday. Johnny Cool, the man who's very hot, says any defenders man of the match for me. Thean as well saying Evans best player on the pitch. I'm more best game in the Sunderland shirt as well. And I'm actually gonna follow that up with. I agree with Thean. I've criticised Corey Evans a lot this season, especially lately. But I thought he was absolutely outstanding yesterday. A few times Morton came forward on a few dangerous attacks, so it was just bobbling about in the middle. But Evans was always the man to stop it. A few good tackles, a few interceptions. Thought his positioning was really good. He was sort of reading what was going to happen next, and he just sort of was able to stop things happening before they did. Nice brick wall in front of the defence, and that pass to Broadhead was inch perfect. Michael, I'll go to you then, man of the match for the Morton game.
Probably for the reason that you went there instead, Corey Evans, because I mean, I would have, if it Broadhead had been on the pitch longer, I would have given it to him because the quality he showed for the goal was really, really good. But to be fair, Evans' assist was really good and just sort of calmed the game down and just kept it ticking over, which I think in the circumstances as the game was going on was what we needed. So I agree with him as well when he said Wright and Bart played well, and I think that's another reason. I think if we go into the playoffs and the defenders are on form, because we're going to have to be against Chef Wed, they are going to have periods where they have chances. Then we need everyone to be on point. So, but as for man of the match yesterday, I would say probably Evans.
Yeah, thank you very much, Michael. Quickly going back to the chat. Stephen Winship also agreeing to Evans' best game in the Sunderland shirt. Hello to Anthem Mackham as well. Says, smile, lads. We do all look a little bit doom and gloom. Dino's just really happy with all the positive.
Can I just say something, right? I know Evans had a good game, right? It's fair enough, right? It's last game of the season against Morton, relegation zone. I mean, does it not say a lot that he had his best game against one of the teams who are scrapping for relegation? Where it was a nothing game in the second half because most of the results were in. I mean, does it not say, because we've all said that Evans has been a bit of a waste of a shirt this season. He's not the greatest, but he's had his best game last game of the season when both teams have really got all the positions sorted.
In recent weeks, not just yesterday. I think before then he was poor, but I think in recent weeks he's been improved at least.
So I feel like I do feel he has slightly improved, but I think what's happened is he's got just slightly better, and everyone's just sort of jumping. I think there's been a lot of people jumping the bandwagon going, "Oh, he's been brilliant, he's been amazing," when he's just sort of been okay. Quickly going back to the live chat, Susan Prescott says Broadhead not playing. Thean says, why thank you, Jack? You're very welcome, Thean. And Tony Lee as well says, Matete to man mark Sheffield Wednesday's best player, Barry Bannon. Just very quickly before I go off, I try to remind everyone, 201 people watching, 103 likes. So thank you to the 103 people who pressed the like button. Do like to get that 100 before the end of the show. But if you haven't already, please do give us a thumbs up. We've plenty of people who haven't yet. And if you are enjoying the show, it's greatly appreciated. And just a reminder as well, it is free to subscribe. And if you do so, you won't miss any of our future streams or videos. But I know we said we're going to round off a little bit early because you need to be aware, don't you, Dino?
Yeah, I'm unfortunately heading out, and it was just after 8 o'clock, so I need to quickly get ready and then jump away.
Not a problem at all. Dino, before we go, would you like to just thank everyone for watching and thank all the lovely commenters tonight we've had on the live chat?
Little wind-up merchants were like, cheers for watching, and bring on Friday. I mean, I'm not looking forward to it. Like, not Friday. I'm not looking forward to it at all. To be fair, I can't even watch it because I'm at work. I've just realised.
Oh well, I mean, Considering how much you hate watching Sunderland, now that'll probably be a good thing for you, won't it, really, Dino?
I'll turn on live scores and see if
We'll have a better Friday evening, probably.
There we go then. Mad Max says 2-0 Sunderland first leg. Stuart Diggle says Barry Bannon got injured yesterday. Mick Griffithson there says cheers, lads. Emma Hansen says cheers, lad. Great as usual. Hashtag Mescal. Michael, have you got any words of wisdom before put off tonight?
Words of wisdom. Well, thanks everyone for watching. And as I said earlier in the show, because I don't think I'll be on later in the week, if you can get yourself to the stadium on Friday, get there, because this is a huge game. It's obviously the biggest home game of the season. We need every single fan we can get in that stadium, and let's rally behind the team.
Very good, Mike. I feel very motivated and inspired now. As myself, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for watching. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you for all of the comments targeted towards Dino. It does really make my Sunday evening. But we should be back for Thursday. Thursday Night Live. We'll look into the Sheffield Wednesday game a little bit more. And might have a few sort of injury updates as well to go through by then. But for myself, Jack Dodds, from Dino Elgar, and from I'm Sick of League One, aka Michael Bowles. Thank you for watching. And if you are a member, you will see your name come up on the end credits, and we will see you later. Take care. Bye-bye. Dino, what's the last word?
Oh.
Say it again, sorry.
Well done, Miss Gal.
See you later.